Welcome back to ETStudios. I'm Himanshi Tiwari and we are joining you from the Great India Retail Summit 2025. Now, golden beaches, vibrant nightlife and a laid-back charm, Goa is the ultimate holiday destination. But could it also be India's next big retail and lifestyle hotspot? So from bustling street markets to premium malls, the shopping scene here is evolving fast, and today we have an incredible panel to unpack what's next for Goa's retail revolution. Joining me today is Sameera, Reddy, actor and entrepreneur who has embraced the Goan lifestyle and knows firsthand how consumer preferences are shifting. Thank you so much, Sameera, for joining us.
I'm so excited to be here.
Also, we have with us Pushpa Bector, Senior Executive Director at ETRetail, a leader in shaping India's shopping experiences. Thank you, Pushpa, for joining us.
It's our pleasure.
We have with us Kavindra, Mishra, MD and CEO of Shoppers Stop, who understands the pulse of fashion and retail trends. Kavindra, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And lastly, Pankaj, Renjhen, COO and Joint MD Retail Services at ANAROCK, bringing in insights on retail, real estate and expansion. Thank you so much, Pankaj, for joining us.
Delighted to be here.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of this session here at the Great India Retail Summit. You know, let's start with you, Sameera. We are talking today about the Goan market. How is it evolving? You are a consumer, so we are actually going to start with the consumer first and not with you guys. So you are a consumer. How do you see the Goan market shift? How the consumer sentiments, consumer behavior is shifting in Goa?
So this is my 5th year in Goa, and of course I moved in May 2020, right when COVID hit. So I knew Goa as a tourist before that. Now I am as local can get. I want the best deals, I want the best school, I want the best life. And I can tell you Goa is the place for it. But for me, one thing was lacking, and I've said this, and I'm so excited to be here to support this because I'll be the first one running into that mall when it opens. I think there was a space for a good retail experience, one with everything to offer. And because of the influx of a certain kind of a consumer, such as I, we've come from Bombay, Delhi and the big cities, and we want more. And so when you have everything under one roof, where I'm not splitting between all the different malls today, trying to get one PVR experience or something for my kids in terms of, games and, the arcades, and then wanting to shop something for myself, and you were getting it under one roof. This was what was lacking, and I believe the time is absolutely now. This is the perfect time for it. It is definitely here, and it is something that we all wanted. Not only that, I think that because now we have a lot of families that have moved, they want that experience and they want it cost effective as well as premium. And from what I hear, I think we're going to have the best of both. So the time is now, the time is right.
All right, the time is now, but what kinds of brands are consumer preferring in Goa at this point in time?
So for example, when I come to Mumbai, I come to shop at H&M, at Zara. I want these brands and they're just not there. I want, the right shoes for my kids. I want a lot of beauty brands that are not there. I want the experience as well. Yep. And when I come to Bombay, I end up actually trying to make an extra day of a trip to go to these places. And I'm not much of an online shopper because, with kids' clothes and stuff, you want to actually try them out. With women, we want to try it out. And in living in Goa and the return, of clothes online, it just doesn't work for me. So again, to have that come to Goa for me, like a lot of, as I said, the families who I know right now, that would be most welcome. And I definitely want the high street brands. I want those high street brands because that's something that I grew up in Mumbai and I'm used to it. I'm used to just walking in and buying that pair of shoes and buying that dress that I really want. So definitely space for that.
All right, so the consumer has spoken.
Absolutely.
You should take a note. And moving to you, Pushpa, DLF has been instrumental in shaping India's retail landscape. As you are entering the Goan market now, what's your vision for retail here? Keeping in mind what your consumer has just spoken.
Whatever Sameera has said is truly endorsing our thought process, and it's music to our ears. We believe Goa is kind of the melting pot of a well-heeled consumer which has come in, chosen Goa as their home. Then you have the local Goans who are also been there and whose Do you know that Goa's per capita today is the 3rd or 4th of the country? You know, there is a lot of disposable income in that economy. That's the first thing that we saw. The other thing is that we happen to have the best location for Goa, which is right in Panjim, around Fontana. And so you get the best of South Goa and North Goa to come in there with the kind of infrastructure that is improving through the airport and a lot of the flyovers that are coming up. We think that the timing is right that, you know, to really set up something which is over 700,000 square feet of retail space. So we believe not just that the timing is right from an infrastructure point of view, it's also right from a consumer point of view. The critical mass is there. And yes, we plan to actually have over 300 brands. And just yesterday, Sameera, we were talking to PVR ANAROCK to set up something very special over there, because we believe that the kind of design that a Goan consumer would like is something that is aesthetically pleasing from a local point of view, at the same time very aspirational. And that's the tone that we are getting to the property, keeping the Susegard in mind.
The best part, and I want to add this, the best part is the location.
Yeah.
It is so strategic. You do not enter with the traffic in Panjim. I'm as local can get. As I said, my 5th year here. And the first thing at Pato what I loved was the entry from North Goa and the entry from South Goa is without entering the heart of Panjim, which has the congestion.
Absolutely.
So we're saving time, especially with the new the bridges coming up. So the time is just, as I said, it's actually for me very visionary. The mall, the fact that they have acquired that land and thought through years before, now everyone's like, yes, this is the moment.
Yes.
But they've actually come at the right time with the right space. Let me put it right, with the right
They
space.
knew about the future perhaps, and they have actually thought about the whole shopping experience.
We were waiting for a while. We waited for Goa, the market, to develop, and started construction once we felt that the market had developed. So we think that, you know, this property, we called it DLF Goa because Promenade is an aspirational mall which has Zara, which has Marks and Spencer, Uniqlo nearby. It's got all the brands, and Promenade Delhi is where we started our retail journey from. It's a brand that we think is the right brand to take to Goa, which is aspirational, not too expensive, but definitely aspirational.
All right, aspirational and affordable, right? Moving to you, Kavindra, you have worked across different fashion and retail segments. How have you seen Goan shoppers evolve, and are they leading more towards like premium brands, or does their shopping behavior still reflect a mix of casual and luxury?
So I think we have been servicing the Goa market for the last 9 years or so, and we do have a mall in Kolko Mall. We have a store there, and what we realize is that a Goanese customer is a very loyal customer. She comes very frequently, so her visits are higher than the rest of the country, what we see. We also see that in certain categories they shop a lot. For example, beauty. You're talking about Sameera, you're talking about beauty, right? So beauty is one of the highest performing categories for us. Typically in any shopper stop, the watches contribution is around 10%. In Goa, it's 26%. So we are just wondering where are all these people coming up, because that's a great category for us. So we see that non-apparel, especially handbags, the accessory, that's a very, very big market.
Yeah.
It's not a very premium or a luxury market. It's somewhere between premium and super premium, and I think that's what the positioning of shopper stop also will be in this particular mall, in this particular store, which we'll do. But we are looking at a unique experience, and we are just going to upgrade the entire experience when we come into this. I feel that the Goanese customer she's ready, and amazingly 80% of our business actually happens through the local market, by the way. The tourists are only 20%. So I think that's a very important data point, because it shows that there's the strength of the market, and how if we are able to do that well, because the tourists might come, might go, there might be seasons up and down, but there's a Goanese customer who's supporting you. And I think that's brilliant about what the
And have you seen Mall de Goa on a weekend? You cannot walk in. I avoid it because I can't go there. It's full and it's packed. So I can't even imagine what will happen when something big, airy, which is experiential, it becomes like an experience.
Absolutely.
And right now we are all, between Kakulo and with Mall de Goa, which is the only malls we know. I
And
feel,
actually,
yeah,
the
we get
whole thing is to appeal to the local Goans,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Who've got, as you rightly
Of course.
said, enough capital
Enough
and
capital.
enough discretionary income. And it'll be fantastic. Sameera is that quintessential consumer that, she wants something, she has to go all the way to Mumbai
Yeah.
or to Bangalore when she travels
Yes.
to pick up.
Yes.
So we want that everything is there in one ecosystem and get the best of what we
Yeah.
have around the country to Goa.
And it's family, right?
It's
It's family
family.
driven.
Yes.
If you see Goa, a lot of people have come like me when we've come to settle our families for a better
Exactly.
life.
Yeah.
So the first thing for us is to enter a space which has everything
Yeah.
and it's not too packed.
Exactly.
Which is right now I feel extremely like I wanted something more. And that was definitely a good thing for us to have that space
Yeah.
now.
Agreed.
I think Goa is ready for
Totally.
a premium
Yes.
space.
Yeah.
And I think together we'll create, I think, a history there.
I mean, the conviction is coming very naturally, guys. Just trust me. I don't even need to like.
All right, on that note, I would like
And I must share this that Pankaj, we engaged ANAROCK to do the original research for Goa and the Goanese market, and they gave us confidence that yes, the market's ready.
The market is ready. We haven't spoken to Pankaj for a while now, and now it's your time, Pankaj. Let's talk about retail real estate. When it comes to Goa, as per the trends that are going across India, how does Goa compare? And why and how is it a viable option for the investors?
See, if you look at it, Sameera talked about it. Pushpa mentioned as DLF, which is a large real estate developer, one of the largest real estate listed developers in this country, invested much ahead of the time when Goa was ready. So, they knew that the market is coming. Kavindra talked about the fact that they've already got a store and they see the performance. If you look at it, there is a three set of, I would say, boxes of, or I would say groups of people Goa can be addressed to. One is the Goa resident, who's always been there, grown up, and continues to live there. The second is people like Sameera, who moved in the last couple of years, who moved in from big cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore. I mean, a lot of Delhiites, I know that, because as Pushpa keeps telling me that Asagaon is Greater Class Part 3 of Delhi. But as I said, so a lot of them, and the South Mumbai is moved, and the Bandra is moved as well. And the third is the leisure traveler, who's also coming there, and it's become a big destination for. Today Goa is not a destination for the people who come from these big cities. People are traveling from the northeast of India. People are traveling from interiors of smaller towns and coming to Goa as a leisure destination. You take a cue from international leisure destinations like Phuket. And I think most of us have traveled to a Phuket or a Malaysia and the others. Even as leisure travels, don't we go and shop there? Because there's still a large population who's coming with the mindset of doing leisure, right? And shopping, particularly for us Indians, is a big part of leisure. We are not going to surf the whole day or lie on the beach, right? We need to do something very active, which engages us. We like the crowds. Let's be honest about it. We like the hustle, and we like the bustle as well. Then we're talking about the cities like Goa, the resident who's been. Whenever we went to a market beyond the big metro cities, and Kavindra and Pushpa can definitely talk about that more, is there is always a pent-up demand which is not getting addressed.
Yeah.
The youngster, let's talk about a 15-year-old to a 35-year-old, right? He's watching the same Netflix.
Yeah.
He's exposed to the same reels on Instagram. He's he's exposed to exactly the same fashion trends that anybody in the world is at the same given point of time. So the aspiration is there. It's the opportunity is there. It's just to give him that offer, which today doesn't exist. If I look at it in a consolidated in one location, which offers an electric base of fashion, lifestyle, food and beverage, and entertainment. And I think with Promenade, when I think Pushpa's kind of got it absolutely right, is that a Promenade is the kind of place to be, because it's got that mix of all the three which they're together. So if you look at that, the market is sizable for it.
Yeah.
The person who's moved from, the third set of people who moved from other big cities, now they are becoming residents, and they are, I would say, adopted that market as their place to be. It's very difficult to say, listen, I want to replace my face cream or my night cream, or I want to buy a new pair of sunglasses, I'm not going to keep waiting for next 2 months to go to Bombay and pick it up.
Yeah.
I want to just go there, or I want to just go pick up my groceries. Where would you go? Like, or where you would say, listen, I want to take my kids on the weekend for a movie and have a nice meal. I mean, the retail shopping center becomes the epicenter for all this. So today the market is not ready. It was ready.
It was ready. Yeah.
It's that DLF is entering now and putting in the right product in place for it.
All right. All right. And talking about that, now I would like to move to you, Sameera, again. You have spoken with so much conviction about Goa, and it has actually triggered a Goan dream inside me as well. So I'm going to move to Goa super soon on that note. Sameera, what are Goan consumers yearning for? In terms of how do you think that these developers, the DLFs of the world are gonna, like, what should they address and what are the Goan consumers really want?
So I would say the Goan consumer, and because I have a lot of local friends, as I said, residents who've been there from the beginning, they are definitely, they like value. So it's not that Bombay scene or Delhi where you walk in, you're like, I'm gonna, go in for a premium bag and spend a bunch. I think Goans are very grounded and they're extremely careful with it's a price sensitive market.
Okay.
And in fact, what's incredible for me, coming from a big city, I've actually become very Goan in my thinking, where I am all about the value. So I would say that the ultra premium brands, I don't think we're completely ready for. I'm talking about Vuitton, like all the
luxury.
the luxury.
Agreed.
But definitely high street, high-end sportswear, leisure wear, kids wear, kids. My God, I'm a parent. I know how much I blow up on my children, and I still do. As I said, experiences, arcades. We don't know what to do with our kids.
Exactly.
We can do beaches, we do the bird watching, we do everything, but by God, on a weekend, I would spend, and I'm saying this out loud, a lot of money to just keep my kids having a great experience and feeling good about, just having fun in a mall and doing everything together. Also, I want to add one thing. See how many big restaurants around India are doing Bangalore, Delhi, Bombay, and then Goa.
And then Goa.
And actually
They
Goa
come into
before
Goa.
even like a bigger city.
Bangalore. I know many.
So the headquarters are coming here. If I know a lot of big companies that are also somehow, and this is very interesting, a CEO and we work out, and I don't want to give the name of the company, but he was saying that a lot of his employees have moved from the two headquarters of Delhi and Bombay because they want that lifestyle here and they're willing to come, and this is the Gen Zs. Now imagine how much spending power they have. So we're not just talking about the Goan consumer, we're also talking about overall the consumer is ready from all angles for a very value, cool, hip, child-friendly and an experiential value, which again, as I said, DLF has come at the right time. But definitely value. Value is what I say,
So, Sameera, what we are trying to do is, if you see Mall of India, Noida, we're creating a microcosm of Mall of India, Noida, because we think that every zone, international fashion should be there, Indian fashion should be there, local fashion. I think local sustainable fashion should also be there. There's such lovely brands like No Nasties, which are,
that's
so cool.
very interesting, and she's right, because these are brands
Those
that
are also very, very
it's
good.
the heart of Goa.
It's the heart of Goa. So we don't want to appeal or appear like this big brother coming in from a big city.
But that's fantastic.
We want to really merge in and really look at the cool Goan brands too, and that's when it'll work. The other thing that we want to do is, as far as food is concerned, we don't want to just have fancy food. We want to go in for that cult local food. We would like to, without wanting brand names here, but really the cool spot, the best spot for the prawn curry or vindaloo, and the best spot for that Goan experience or the Mumbai experience, because we think that people coming in from the west will also come in there. People are coming in from the north. So cult brands for food is what we need to really aspire for. And of course, entertainment. I really want to ask you, what do you do for birthday parties in Goa? How do you manage your kids' birthday parties?
It's a big issue. It's a big issue, but half the time they're on the beach. or in then the house, or at these, we actually do it at, like, it's a very local Goan thing to use these sort of halls.
Okay.
That is as local can get,
Okay.
with some nice music
So
and
maybe
everyone
we
running
come
around.
and solve some of those problems for
And
you.
interestingly, again, there's an amazing brand and a very smart lady that came in with a play area.
Right.
And she opened a small play area and she opened a massive one, and it's doing incredibly well.
There you go.
And she said it's amazing how, again, she has a great mix of local as well as the tourists who want to come and put their kids there and then go out, maybe go shopping.
Yeah,
And now just imagine if you had a fantastic play area where you have the kids there while the parents shop.
Shop, yes.
You know,
exactly.
I really want to expand on what you just said, Pushpa, and both of you, it's not only about shopping, it's also about all the other experiences that you sort of integrate. Goa, for Goa, as we are talking about, it is also about tourism, it's about leisure, it's about unique cultural experiences. How are you sort of integrating all these, like retail with hospitality and entertainment for the Goan people?
So, listen, I believe that, first of all, the vibe of that mall has to be very calming.
Yeah.
And our theme is really Strands of the Sea. The architects have come up with a wonderful theme. So it's really, right from the facade on, it'll be a calming Strands of the Sea kind of a vibe. And it would be a space where people will come in not just for retail therapy, but also experientially, doing something different to what they do normally, right? So instead of giving, as I said, the big city vibe, it's more really looking at shopping, of course, is there, first 2 levels, but it's the activities that we'll do.
Yeah.
We'd like to build communities for Goans. I mean, there are different kinds of communities that we have been thinking about, keeping in mind the Susegard, which is so part of the Goanese culture, right? Keeping in mind that, but something really, we are in the anvil of creating some art walls which would pay homage to Mario Miranda, to a few of the local street art that's so good in Goa. We just lost Hanif, who is one of the foremost in street arts. So we'd like to do things which is innovative, which is, however, local in nature, and really adopts the Goanese best into our commercial project.
And trust me, they would really appreciate that.
I
Because
am
Goans love
hoping.
that. In fact, they feel, when you come in with that big city vibe, they feel that it's being, they're being
Captured.
Disturbed.
Yeah.
But
We
if
don't
you
want
come
to do
in
that.
saying that, no, well, let's do this together.
Amalgamating.
Yes, and I think that's fabulous.
So also even looking at, people whom we recruit, we want to recruit a lot of the local people. I'll give you an example when we did Mall of India, Noida. Again, we had a similar thing. They thought, oh, DLF is entering Noida. We gave an opportunity for 8,000 employment in that catchment. Then they just adopted. And we plan to do a similar thing here. Really merge with the environment and create an opportunity for them to grow and aid the economy.
Yep.
All right, on that note, I'll quickly move to you, Kavindra. We have very limited time with us, ladies and gentlemen. As you all said, that Goa is not just about Goans. It's a diverse market. Diverse people are there in Goa, from high-spending tourists to trend-conscious buyers or trend-conscious locals. This is what Goa is made up of. How do you sort of approach the right product mix for this diverse audience in Goa?
So as I said, we have more than 8-9 years of history of servicing the Goan customers, right? And the tourists as well. So there is a clear understanding of what categories do well, what categories are the rockstar categories for us. For example, beauty, watches, handbags. So I think there will be a lot of indexing on that. We also believe that, and not because she just spoke about it, in the new shopper stop, we are creating a kids play area. There are gaming arcades. So that's a new version, and I think it will just beautifully fit into the way this whole mall and the entire concept is going to evolve. I think it will be a lot of focus on premium brands, brands which are available only with us in that market. But I think we will be also ensuring that through a lot of the data which we have, we are able to fulfill all the levels, right? Because you can't just sell luxury there. You have to have a good mix of premium to super premium. And I think that's the journey we want to be in. And I really want to tell you guys that as a project, we are also going to work with some Goanese designers
All
and
right.
do a pop-up for them. So I think that's something which we are looking at evolving into as we
That's
go
lovely.
ahead.
All
Yeah.
right, and moving to you, Pankaj, you're the last speaker of this panel perhaps. Many global destinations have successfully positioned themselves as the hub for shopping and lifestyle, as a global hub. What will it take for Goa to be positioned, in that manner?
Let's not forget that the base, what is Goa? Goa is the state of India.
Yeah.
So it's a big economy in itself, right? Look at the amount of economic generation of businesses which happen there. For example, let's take an example of gin. The amount of craft gins which are coming out of Goa. So that means there is a huge amount of economic generation which is happening there. If you're able to create a destination which allows that wealth to get spent there, economic generation by employment which gets generated there, economic generation which which Kavindra said that we are able to provide the products and services for people to consume, for people like Sameera to come and spend their
Yeah.
families and the others. As long as the economic generation is happening, the market size is extremely large to sustain itself on its own and growth as well. Because everything is about, the fact of the matter is, has to be self-sustaining as a business model.
Yeah.
Which, as I said, the market is absolutely ready.
Yeah.
Real estate is only an ingredient or a impetus
An
to
enabler.
build that economic generation.
All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of this discussion. And before I go, I would like to ask you, Sameera, with DLF Promenade now coming to Goa, do you think the consumer habits or shopper habits are going to change?
I definitely think that they're going to be presenting something that we didn't know that we needed. That's what is going to happen. You're literally
that.
going to put this ice cream in front of us and say, oh, I didn't know I wanted that. I'm going to eat it right now. That's where DLF is imagined something that we couldn't imagine before we thought we wanted it. And that's all I'm going to say.
I think that's perfect.
That's the best way to end this panel right here. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this discussion.
Thank
you
you.
all.
Thank you.
And Goa has always been a dream destination, but now it's turning into a retail heaven too, with the right mix of global brands, local charm, and a seamless shopping experience. The future looks bright. Now that's a wrap from GIRS 2025, brought to you by ETStudios. Stay tuned for more insights from the leaders shaping India's retail landscape.